I'm doing a challenge starting today on January 22nd. It's a social media 75 hard. And if you're familiar with the 75 hard, it is two 45-minute workouts, one indoor, one outdoor, 10 minutes of a personal development book. You have, a certain amount of water you drink every day, a couple other things. I saw another creator do this and I think it's a great idea. And so what my 75 hard is for this channel is teaching you and bringing you value when it comes to the current state of social media. This series is going to be completely raw, just sharing my true thoughts, very little editing to it. I might do some cuts here and there, but this is going to be completely raw, sharing my thoughts, my ideas. So today's first video, day one of this series, is talking specifically about personal branding in 2025 and how that is the vision, that is the North Star that I recommend businesses and brands strive to create in 2025 to become more relevant. So to touch on this a little bit, just touch on this briefly, I have another personal brand that has over, I think, right around 38,000 followers across Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, and YouTube. And I've grown that over the last two and a half years. And one thing that I have learned while applying the techniques that I've learned from that brand to my clientele is that when you have a personal brand attached to a business, most times it works better than not. And here's why. People trust people more than they will trust a business. And so, for example, the content that I put out on my agency's Instagram page, TikTok profile, whatever it might be, is of me most of the time, unless it's like a graphic. And so one thing that I've realized is that content typically generates more attention than if it was something that was faceless or something that was somewhat generic to the field. And so what I've seen and what I predict in 2025, I know we're 22 days in, is that the personal brandification, if that's a word, if it's not, I just made it, the personal brandification of businesses is going to hit home in 2025. Because people want intent. People want to resonate with an individual, with a person, with a human being. And people want to resonate with people that are in a situation or that are in a place that they want to be in. For example, if it is business related, maybe it's a certain income and you're talking to somebody who grows businesses or helps out with businesses and you're a consultant. Maybe it's marketing related. Maybe it's cooking related, whatever it may be. Maybe you're trying to or maybe somebody wants to create better meals, so what do? They follow a cook or somebody who makes recipe books online. Basically, the point is that as a business, think about how you can create a personal brand around your business. Whether that is you yourself, whether that is another personality, whether this is a personality that you generate with AI, which is becoming a thing. AI influencers are a thing. Obviously, there's a disconnect because of the fact that they are AI and you can tell, but when it comes to resonating, people are starting to resonate with these AI pages for sure, and AI influencers, if you want to call them that. So that's an option, but people will always resonate with people, and that is the big thing that I implore. So if you don't want to create a personal brand that is your whole entire spiel on your business, talk about the people. Get people involved in your company. Maybe if you're not doing that as a CEO, maybe it's somebody else in your company that wants to take on that role that will become somewhat the face of the company. Or maybe you want to become the face of the company. It's completely up how you want to do this. And to do this well, it's all about resonating with the end consumer and what they will deem as valuable. And I talk about this all the time. It's not what you think is valuable. It is what the end consumer thinks and deems as valuable when it comes to creating content and the content that you put into the world. And so what I've seen over the course of the last couple years when it comes to individuals is those profiles and channels tend to grow faster. And even if it is a individual behind a business, like for example, like me, I am behind VAW Media, I am VAW Media. I'm the founder and CEO, so my 2 cents and my expertise in my personal brand is VAW, and I'm the person behind that. I've seen that do better, and I've seen that do better across the board. This is relevant with is real estate, building a personal brand around yourself to become the local expert in your area, that is one that works, I would say, 10 times out of 10. Now, I'm not talking about generic content. I'm not talking about here's an open house, here's a listing that I have, here's the next thing, blah, 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 that I'm doing. I'm talking about really becoming the local expert, figuring out what you can do to provide value to not only the people that live in the area that you sell homes in, but also the areas that people are trying to move to from out of state, maybe out of country. So when it comes to building this personal brand, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. So when it comes to building this brand, this personal brand of yours, think about how you can bring value to that end consumer. And I implore that if you own a business, or if you're a creator, kind of doesn't apply to you, because if you're a creator, more times than not, you are the one who is creating content and you're behind the camera, unless you're a faceless content creator, which there are tons out there. But if you're a business and you have the want and need to grow it in 2025, I highly recommend getting behind the camera, communicating like this, and figuring out how you can bring value to the world. And value comes in all shapes and sizes. It could be entertainment, it could be education, it could be industry insights, it could be what is it called? It's a combination of entertainment and education, basically. There's a term, but it could be a combination of both of those. You could be very funny, and you could be essentially telling jokes. Or there's one car salesman who literally will stitch memes and have like a little reaction to it, and he's really raw, and it's actually working very, very well as a car salesman. And so you have to think about the ways that you can leverage what's going on in the social ecosystem to then benefit your business, to grow your business as a whole through that personal brand. So I recommend getting behind the camera, learning the best techniques, figuring out what you need. And really all you need, I have a phone and a ring light. That's all I have right now. You could get a mic. I have, well, this is part of the mic. That's the little microphone. Let me see, where is the mic? Did it fall out? Yeah, it did fall out. So you have a mic like this that you can get off of Amazon. I use this one all the time. It's great. I've used this with clients. I've used this myself. The quality is impeccable. You plug it right into your phone, and it's great. So you can, get a mic like this and talk in front of the camera. And I also want to say that this series is going to be completely raw, just sharing my true thoughts, very little editing to it. I might do some cuts here and there, but this is going to be completely raw, sharing my thoughts, my ideas. So when it comes to how to do this, and when it comes to why, I've found through my experience that creating a personal brand around your business will enhance the level of trust and the level of credibility and authority. So those big three right there, simply because you were behind the camera versus just a business posting content and getting lost in the noise. And so that is why. So if you want to break through the noise while also building trust and gaining authority in your local area or nationally or in your niche, grow a personal brand and put yourself behind a camera. Now, how do you do that? Just like this, just testing and learning, figuring out, okay, how can I communicate value to the person I'm trying to talk to, whether you're an Italian restaurant owner in downtown Nashville or you own a car dealership in Phoenix, Arizona, whatever it may be. Figure out how you can get behind the camera, or maybe have, like I said, somebody on your team do this.